Okay, here's a reading I had promised somebody. I tried to get done yesterday, but yesterday was just one of those days to where you just can't seem to get anything done. I started off with the baby. He was pretty much wanting a lot of attention yesterday, and there were some other things that happened. Either way, I wanted to go ahead and get this done. Now, um, I'm going to call this reading 1A. So the person I will send a message back to with 1A in it, so you'll know that this is for you. Somebody that asked for a general reading, and I went ahead and went back with the old faithful Celtic cross. I like really, really well. Now, one of the things I always do is when I lay the cards out, first of all, I get a look over a whole entire spread. And I know you can't see the spread. One of these cards are pretty large. Uh, and see what's going up. And in the spread, I've got one, two, three, four major arcana cards. So this tells me that you're going through a major transition, a major stage in your life right now. Now, I did get a birth date on that, and that would be um, right now dealing with going through a personal number 8 year. And a personal number 8 year is all about um, being out in the real world. It's about, you know, sevens are a lot about internal learning about the self and work and family and so forth. Kind of goes, relationships go on the back burner so you can work through yourself. So this was the last year, but this year, and because of the birth date, this has probably been going on for. I move it into a number 8, which is going on for about 6 months now. But this is a time, you know, when you are starting to feel powerful, and it's a time for some advancement and showing yourself in the external world. Um, Now, business activities with partners and so forth, and especially with one of the cards that came up over here, um, and another card over here would make, say, possibly looking at going into business, and not necessarily a partner, but being in a partnership, so to speak, or maybe connected to another group is what I get more with that. Also, with eights, there seems to be old dramas, such as old patternings, because eight is ruled by the number seven, and it's basic seven and or number seven. It's ruled by Saturn. So this is kind of a reaping rewards for things you've done previously. Uh, but there's a lot about major changes, alterations, such as a relationship changes and so forth that do come about within this. Now, the first card I have, and the first two cards here would be the central issue. And I say a lot of this here deals with your inner life, whereas the staff over here, which you can't see, there's four cards that go up, would be a lot of the outer world. But the inner world, the first thing I have is Carnunos, which would be the devil card, and the regular Rider Waite deck. And what this tells me immediately is, one, there's been a strong attraction to something in your life, and I see a lot of wands here, two wands here, and there is an earth card here, and there's two air. So there's thoughts with these wands, and leading in over here. Of course, this is, I think there's the strong addiction to work towards something, and or something being worked on in a work manner. But the big thing is there's a lot of fear there. When this card comes up, or when the devil would come up in a reading, there's fear, and this seems to be what's holding you back. Is at the current moment, you know, fear, and with this sitting, the King of Wands is sitting cross would be the cross in this. And the King of Wands is telling me that there's, of course, the King of Wands is all about the external world, and uh, this is, I think, somebody possibly, and I am thinking that this is a male. I'm going with two different things on this. That there's worries and fears because this guy is a socialite. He's out, a social, and so forth, and he is a jokester. Also, he likes to laugh and have fun. Now, I really I don't think it's too much of, you know, there's definitely ego with the wands there, but I think a lot of it is being afraid to be made fun of for what you're doing. Um, a major issue, especially by a male or a partner, because there are two people in here. And below this, the root of this is a lover's card, so there's a strong connection with a male partner, such as a husband or so forth, and having worries and fears about that, or being made fun of. And I think, what you really need to do is worry more about yourself instead of allowing others to control that. But another thing here with this King of Wands, the King of Wands is like the entrepreneur, or he is the entrepreneur. Um, and I normally, this card will come up for me when somebody who's trying to put themselves out there, and there's a fear or to put yourself out there, out in the real world, um, because one, belief. This card is about belief. You have to have belief in yourself, and you're not having belief in yourself. This seems to be a major flaw with the entire thing. Not the reason that you're not putting yourself out there to put yourself in a situation that you want to be in, um, as represented by the king here, is because you don't have enough faith and belief in yourself. Now, this King of Wands again is all about putting yourself out into the real world. Being able to advertise yourself and show people who you are and what you are, and being out with that enthusiasm. And he's very, very enterprising. So there's the fear and your belief to try to get yourself out there, and the reason you're not doing it, you're not putting yourself out there because of that fear. Um, Even though there may be a whole lot, it's having, this guy's about courage. It's having the courage to get over that fear. So you're going to have to get over that fear to go towards where you're at. This seems to be what's holding you back in your life right now. And number wise, everybody knows I work with numbers. The number is a five. You think about the five. Actually, it deals with the high priest and groups and communities, especially spiritual groups and communities. So that is going to give me a strong indication that maybe, of course, I do happen to know some information about this because I had sent a message to this person. So I do know that this is a spiritual type um, work that they're trying to do, and it's having fear and belief, and of course connected with that high priestess, those groups and so forth. And the high priestess is also about a lot about being scattered, a lot about competition. But the thing is, it's more healthy competition. It's to get out there and prove it to yourself, is what you need to do, because that's very telling me that you're going to have to believe in yourself if you're going to want this to happen, if you're going to want this King of Wands energy to where you know uh, that strong motivation, which right now your motivation is fear. When you're coming from a fear-based energy, you're not able to open up and uh, do what you need to do and help people the way you want to help people. Now, um, the root, or the bottom, I say, and this is also the subconscious level here, is I've got the Lover's card, and the Lover's card is all about um, choices more than anything. Everybody said, well, this is about love and so forth. Well, I would think, honestly, with these cards here, that this male figure and this lover's card, this is a husband or a partner that's maybe joking and playing and so forth with you, causing the issue, um, making you have your own worries and fears. But at the same time, all this boils down to a choice that you have made, that decision of what you wanted to do and go into. And now that you're allowed to do it, you're sitting in a position where you're afraid. You have to get over that fear to be able to move on. But what the root cause is, there's some kind of decision, and this is going to be on a subconscious level. You have subconsciously made the decision, I think, to have this fear. Um, uh, the whole thing is to get over that, to get out there. This crossing card says put yourself out there if you really want to make it happen. Okay, because this is what's crossing you, what's causing you the problems. You put these here, um, running in this direction. This lover's card here at the bottom is telling me that you have basically, it's a trust issue, because this is also a choice, but it's also about trust and having inner trust. I think you do trust yourself uh, on a deeper level, but on another level here, you're allowing others and what the outer world say control you with the fear. Very strong, because it takes trust to be in a union with another person. And so that's what I'm getting with this really, really strong. This is also, like I said, there's a very strong connection with important relationships. And it goes up here of I'm looking at where you're at, and I think you're starting to come out of that. It's just going to take a little while. Now, in the past here, I think a lot of this, because of the way I've got wands, and I have another wands here, and then I have pentacles over here. This is a work issue. Work and finances seem to be the problem, and it looks like there's somebody here. I'm not sure if this is you. I think this may be a man who seems to be having to carry all the weight and carry the load. A lot of stress put on somebody. And I think that, that's a lot of the issue too. That worried about this stress over the in the past here, in the past say 6 months or so, but especially within the past 3 months. This Ten of Wands is all about somebody having to take the entire load, be it you or somebody else, work-wise, to try to make things work and make things meet, or ends meet. Okay. Now the top card I have here, this is more on the conscious level, what's on your mind now that's going on. And I've got that Eight of Swords, and it's reversed, and that's excellent, because looking at this here is the trust issue, and dealing with this worries and this lack of trust and this fear. But you look like now, after going through uh, some fighting and some difficulties, that you're now in a state of mind where you're no longer feeling like you're trapped. You're starting to open your eyes, and you're starting to see things a little more clearly. As far as you know, the need for with work issues, the need for somebody to work, and also, but also with the fear, um, because you have two air cards here, very, very strong. And see this Earth card here, and this is an Earth card, and these are fire. And Earth, of course, deals with uh, um, real world stability and finance, especially finances, when you have two wands. So there is an issue running this way. And here you've got two air cards, which is all about thought and your stability. And it looks like you're now in the mindset to where you're able to stand up and say, okay, I am getting over my fears. I'm facing my fears. I'm taking off that blindfold so I can see, um, of course, where she's wearing the blindfold. And this is reversed, and how I read the reverse is the fact that, of course, getting over that fear. Okay, and this is going to be where you're at now, and what you're heading through right now. There's kind of a release, letting go of this fear, you know. And you're finally saying, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm trying to let go of it. Of course, you have to understand this is a very, very powerful card here, and that's one great thing about this card. Even though this card, once you are, it's like you're almost addicted to what you're doing. Yeah. But the thing is, once you use that power and release yourself, there's massive power that has the ability to move. Um, and the number five is coming to me again. The number five, even though this is Eight of Swords, so that's going to tell me again a lot of moving around and running around with that. What's currently going on, and breaking the release, dealing with other people, such as again, I get groups. I keep getting groups of people with this, but and this is helping you get that release, and basically there's you have the thought processes. This is a time for a new beginning, and that's where your thought is. This is a new beginning. This is a new life for me. Just getting over that fear. Trust yourself. Have faith and trust yourself. Now, where you're headed, again, uh, around this direction here, I have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is reversed. Okay, uh, again, this is pointing towards lack of stability. So, if there's financial issues and so forth, being able to maybe you need to hold on to some money, uh, so maybe you can further yourself as far as education wise, because I get a lot with learning that comes up with all the air that's going on, the air energy. Um, maybe you're not in a position to where you're able to save enough to move yourself in that direction. But when this Four of Pentacles comes up, this is coming up over the next few months with this Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is going to tell me that money is going to be tight for you over the next, say, 3 months or so. At least it's definitely, money is going to be tight and it's going to be difficult. So this is something that, if it's a concern, and I'm definitely going to say money, because the fact that the Wands card, somebody else is having been carry looks like carrying the load here, and I think this person trying to start a business and getting moving and so forth. Uh, that fear seems to, of course, be held back, and there may be somebody that has some kind of addiction that's costing money too. Don't know. It's just something that popped with me, and that addiction could be anything. A lot of first thing people say drugs, is that, and that's not necessarily the case. I mean, a woman could have an addiction to buying shoes, and that's the reason she doesn't have money. Either way, this here says somebody carrying the load, and this is the entrepreneur, of course, always trying. This is the man that starts the business and the entrepreneur here, and it's looking like there's not going to be the money to be able to start this situation, the business that you like. You're not going to be able to save the money, because basically, like, too many bills coming in, you're having to pay out too much money over the next few months. Um, so I would suggest looking more for, especially with all the air cards that are going on in here. Air is all about communication and energy. Look towards things such as the internet, such as Facebook. So, it's free. Build yourself a reputation. Get over your fear, because that's your big issue right now. But get over that, and use um, free ways to maybe to move to boost this, um, a business and so forth, because I think the money that you're looking for advertising, putting yourself out there, which deals with this guy here, it's just not there. You're not able to save that money. But the thing about, when this, something I want to say, even though this is a 3 month deal, about 3 months, when it is reversed, this is saying there's just simply delays. Okay, by looking at the overall cards, this is saying success can possibly be had when it comes with these, uh, but there's definitely gonna have to be work. I mean, over the next few months, if you know you're not going to be able, and that's another thing, is being able to kind of delegate and spread things out the way you need to. There's not enough there to do that, and it goes right back here. Same with the past. There's somebody else who needs to delegate things out instead of taking on all the work. That word comes to me really really strong. But I get a selfishness with this card. Okay, so um, somebody trying to hold back or kind of hoard money or keep it to themselves is probably going to cause an issue, um, to try to get things moving the way you want them to move. And the big thing is the fear of poverty, and of course, fear again, right there, that central card, fear, fear, fear. Fear is seems like to be it's the motivating factor. If you can get over that fear and move forward, it can help change. But over the next few months, money's not really going to be there, I think, for you to do the things that you want to do, that you're wanting to put money in it. So I would say go for, if you're trying to start a business or something, work more towards with the air and everything, communication such as some free things as the internet and whatever you can do for free to help build yourself. That's just simply my suggestion. Now, this card over here, and I'm working with the staff, and I know you can't quite see it. The first card I have would be, this would represent how you see yourself, and this is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is all about thoughts of you're feeling strong, you're feeling powerful, and it's strongly connected over here. It's saying I've made a choice. When this Lover's card, there's a strong connection right there, and there's of course another strong connection here. But again, I have air, I have air, I have air. Lots of thinking going on, lots going on with the mind. But you yourself feel like the difficulties, especially with what's going on here and being made fun of. You feel that you are ready when this card up here, thought process, and it's also about thinking. And this sword show, and this is reverse, saying you're getting over the fears. This is telling me that right now you see yourself as you're feeling powerful, and saying, you know, there's you're feeling that force and that strength. And I think it has a whole lot to do with this central card. This central card, like I said, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of power to get over a fear. And I think you're in that process right now. So this is all a good thing. Okay? Um, and this Ace of Swords is, you've got a lot of ideas going on, especially if you're looking at starting a business here. Um, but this is about power. Uh, Use this card. One of my main keywords or phrases for it is strength in adversity. Things that are difficult, being made fun of, and so forth. You right now, uh, you are in the mindset that I have the strength and the power to confront that adversity and get through it, especially with this Eight of Swords up here saying, okay, I don't feel like I'm trapped anymore, you know. So a lot of this is about trying to get over your fear. It just looks like you're in bad situations. Now, the outer world here, I have, this is the Justice card, and this is actually reversed. So the Justice card reversed on the outer world, I think being adjudged being judged unfairly is the first thing that comes to my mind, especially with the central card here. Someone that on the outer world, so forth, laughing and made fun of, and this can be uh, with the Justice card here, can very well be a woman too. But I feel the outer world, so to speak, seems to not really be committed to you, to helping you with your uh, um, get over your fear. And of course, if you're whatever job or business that you're wanting to get into, there's no help the outside on that. There's nobody else that's committed to you, that's close to you, and this is the way, I really feel that possibly, the whole thing is they're not judging you fairly at all on this. So also, probably some false accusations, people saying things about you that aren't true, and again, it comes over here with the fear and everything. You really, I think you're kind of getting used to that with this card sitting to it. You're feeling the strength and saying, I really don't care what you got to say. It doesn't matter to me. But this is a very, very powerful card, and it's also uh, connected, I think, down here with the Lover's card here, with certain choices that you made on an internal level, and again, the central issue, fear, and a lot of this tells me right here there's a line that goes straight across here, and these cards are all connected, saying that the judge, how you're being judged from the outer world, is definitely important to you. um, and if people making fun of you and so forth, they refuse to apologize, and your whole thing is, hey, I want to get out and I want to prove you wrong. Especially with this guy here saying, I want to, this card here, this energy is saying, I want to get out there and be happy, because it is a happy energy. uh, Improve myself, even though over the next few months it's not really happening. um, the way things are looking, I think, with this card here saying that these new ideas and everything you have going on, you are definitely headed in the right direction for it. So that's the outer world is not really giving you any support uh, with your ideas and things that's going on. Now the this card here is the High Priest card. These are what we call the hopes and fears. What you hope for, what you're afraid of, and it looks like the hopes and fears are almost the same thing. One, you hope to be connected with groups, especially such as religious or spiritual groups, being connected with these people, and possibly working with people. But at the same time, too, there's a fear, of course, the fear of being rejected, especially with that central card, very strong. Fear seems to be a big, big issue here. But hope-wise, you're hoping to be able to be connected with larger groups of people, and something that seems to be more orthodox, or you know some kind of tradition that is set up group-wise, such as with what you're interested in and trying to work on and so forth. You're getting trying to be involved and become, hoping to be a member of these groups that's going to help you out. And there's also, I I think they're kind of an external authority in a way, because this is like there's somebody, this man, saying there's somebody that has the knowledge and so forth to help guide you, and you're wanting to make a connection with that group. Okay, a final outcome card I have the Eight of Cups, and this is reversed. This is actually, when that comes up reversed, this is telling me, makes a perfect connection here with that strength that you're showing here. And I always have to look at these cards with what's going on over here. But Eight of Cups is all about, when this comes up reverse with me, this is all about sticking with a situation, be it bad or good or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's telling me that over the next 6 months you're still going to be sticking it through. Uh, a refusal to let go and move on. You've got your head set. That's where you're at. You no longer, you're getting over, I think, these fears, even though these fears seem to be more dominant, but because of the type of cards they are. But it's saying that I refuse to move on. I refuse to let people that are making fun of me win, and people that don't support me. I 6 months from now am still going to be working at it because I'm going to make this happen. And this is going to be a socializing card also. And with it sitting right next to this high priest, I think you're definitely going to be involved in groups because this is a socializing card. And I think you're going to start to see the effects of this in about a month is where it's going to start, because this card is has the moon in it, and in about 30 days normally I see that coming up. And this is also, it's about enjoying yourself and having fun. So that's you refuse to let this go because I want to, you're saying I want to, I'm seeking my own personal happiness, and this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how I'm headed, what direction I'm headed. I'm not letting it go. So that's where you're at in 6 months, and I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm here, to get another card, just to pull another one and see what we got here. There you go. It's the Star. The Star reversed. The Star is one of the most positive cards in the deck. It is reversed. Reverse is telling me to tell you to have faith. Have that faith. The Star is all about, it's all about having faith and having hope. But when it comes up reversed, what it's saying is that maybe you're losing the faith, or so forth. But this is telling me that you have a reason to, that there is light in the darkness there with that star. It's telling me you're to stay focused and to keep going for this. That when it comes up reverse for me is, uh, one, accept help from others. Okay, when that star comes up reversed, a lot of people, even though they're basically, they're not having the hope and the faith in the future that they need to have, because what they're going after is definitely coming. But if others come along to help you, don't refuse that help. Take that help. That's going to give you, basically kind of give you a leg up on what's going on. Uh, uh, like I said, this still, it keeps most of its power even when it's reversed. The only thing is you're not really aware of the spiritual riches that you do have around you, and especially I think of these groups and these people over here that you're going to be connected. And if people want to help you, allow them to help you. Okay, I hope that really helps you. I'm going to get this video cut, give me some feedback, and we can talk more about the reading later. I really appreciate you letting me do the reading.